A couple of weeks ago, I went to Beijing on a quick trip, and getting out of the airport took a little time, but a little longer than usual, and it was the biggest airport I've ever been to. But taking the subway to the city was very easy. I mean, it wasn't that crowded, given that I wasn't riding during rush hour. It was real simple and convenient, and no problems. And it always makes the trip more enjoyable when you can leave the airport conveniently. The first restaurant I went to was this famous dumpling place. It was a really easy walk to the restaurant from the subway, and from what I remember, it was a really easy 10-minute walk. The menu, wow, probably the biggest and heaviest menu I've ever seen in my life. It was like a magazine or dictionary. It felt like I was looking through a food catalog. I mean, just going through it and trying to decide what to eat is a task itself. And it took me a long time just to go through it. I spent a couple of times just looking through it out of curiosity and amazement, and then a couple of more times just to pick what I wanted to eat. And I just picked the ones that looked more colorful and delicious. I actually came here because the colorful dumplings looked really cool to eat. And I guess that's the kid part of me coming out. I mean, there are many other places that friends suggested to me, but I really wanted to try the dumplings first. And I wasn't in the mood to eating anything deep fried. I wanted to eat something light because I was going to spend the rest of the day walking around, taking pictures and doing tourist stuff like this. I was really lucky that it wasn't crowded at the time, and I was able to get a really good table in a quiet section of the restaurant next to the window entrance. It had a good mix of tourists and locals, and it didn't feel like a tourist restaurant at all. It was more like a local restaurant that got popular and just so happens that a lot of tourists were coming in. It was really comfortable too. Service was good and they weren't rude or anything. It didn't have any fancy interior. It was just a simple local style restaurant with good food. You know, it just had a simple family restaurant feeling to it. The waiting time was a bit long, but it was reasonable. I was able to pass time real easy. I mean, because I had a seat by the windows, I was just people watching and, just using my phone. And I had to wait around 10 minutes for the first two dishes to come out. These were really good, the shrimp. And as you can see, every bite was just so enjoyable. And it wasn't that juicy, and that's the way I prefer it. What's interesting is that you see the color and you start to imagine and think that it's going to taste like orange or something fruity. So it was really fun to eat. For the normal person, one plate would be enough, but for me it wasn't enough at all. Unfortunately, the second order of dumplings didn't come out until a lot later, around 10 minutes after I finished the first plate. So I didn't want to eat the Chinese yam and blueberry sauce until I finished all my dumplings, because that was to me dessert. But I didn't want to wait anymore, so I just started to eat it. Honestly, it was good, but not that great. I mean, it's good enough to eat and enjoy, but not something I would probably order again. I was there to eat dumplings, and that's all I cared for. And it just so happened that I just saw something really cool. Because of the long wait for this, I was getting really annoyingly hungry. And so I finished the second plate pretty quickly. I know. Everyone tells me, especially my mom, I have a really bad habit of eating too quickly. According to the menu, it had tomatoes, onion, mushroom, and beef inside. Honestly, I picked this one because it looked the most colorful and it ended up being the most flavorful. Upon biting into the dumpling, you get the sensation as if you're eating tomato spaghetti sauce with beef. I didn't expect that at all, but it was really interesting. By the time I finished this, I really wanted to order one more plate, but I was not going to wait anymore. So I just decided to go at this point. I mean, if I knew that the order with time was going to be this long, I would have just ordered 3 plates of dumplings at the beginning and nothing else. And even after that, I would still be hungry. I was also told that the dumplings are naturally dyed from vegetable juice, so that's how they get that color in there, which is really cool. And the total cost of the meal was really low. In my opinion, I was really happy with the dumplings. The only regret is that I wish I ordered more. On my way back to the subway, I decided to check out the McDonald's. And in every country I go to, I always go to a McDonald's just to see if they have any cool menu items. But the only time I actually got something when I was traveling was when I was in Thailand and got the corn pie. And that was really interesting and really good. But here, I just decided to get the mint chocolate ice cream cone, and I love mint ice cream. It's not a popular flavor here in Korea, but I really like it. You know, when you get an ice cream cone, there are two ways to eat it. Lick it or eat it. And I always eat it. And also, whenever you get the ice cream cone, most of the time there's no ice cream towards the bottom of the cone. But here, this one had ice cream all the way to the bottom, which of course is a great thing, and I was just really happy about that one. As you all saw, the inside of the restaurant was pretty empty. I felt like I could have just took a nap in there and no one would bother me. The most common thing I order from McDonald's is the Oreo McFlurry. And I can eat that all day long and not get sick of it. I just love that. As I mentioned in the previous video, I try not to eat fast food like Big Macs or stuff like that anymore, simply because of the way it makes you feel afterwards. It's not a very good feeling. But ice cream, sweet foods, desserts, none of those have that effect on me. You know, I can eat any of that stuff all the time and still feel good and healthy. And I do not know why, but I do know it's not very good to do that. And if you see my Instagram, there are more desserts and sweet foods than normal foods. So that just shows you how much I really like it. So anyways, I will get some more cool stuff posted up and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.